Good evening, wrestling fans. Welcome back to another edition of Evolution of Pro Wrestling. I am your host, Lewis, aka the Encyclopedia of Pro Wrestling, back with an exclusive interview today with a interesting individual. This gentleman's name is Mr. Gino Rivera, the Frank Sinatra of the Spanish mafia, of what he says. And we also have many other nicknames that he has. This gentleman has been all over professional wrestling, and we want to see how he is going to enlighten us with his wrestling career. So let's invite Mr. Gino Rivera and see what he has to say. We're waiting for him. Mr. Russell Jackson, what's going on, man? And Nancy Henderson, hello. Okay, we're just waiting for this gentleman to come on, and we are going to start this interview. In the meantime, until we wait for Mr. Gino Rivera, don't forget to tune in this upcoming Friday, Evolution of Pro Wrestling Trivia 3. That's right, 3. So we're gonna make it a little harder this time. Okay, we're still waiting for Gino. What's going on? So Gino Rivera. Okay. Where's Jaden? Jaden is eating. This is actually a private interview with a superstar. Jaden doesn't like to do the interviews, so he lets me do them. So I take care of it. Alright, Mr. Gino, where are you, young man? He's running a little late. while we wait for Mr. Gino. Oh, wait a minute. I think he just popped in. We're waiting to have him on. Gino. So you got headphones?
I got headphones. Can you hear me, or do you need them? You need them in.
Yeah.
Got them right here. All right. Can you hear me? Can you
There
hear
we
me?
go. Much better. Absolutely. There you go. No, because I heard a little echoes. Now we good.
All right.
Mr. Gino Rivera of what you say the Frank Sinatra of the Spanish mafia.
That's right. That's
Oh man,
right.
you sent me your resume, and it's impressive. You know what I mean? Everything you've done in 205 and indie wrestling, and like the superstars you work with. Like, tell us how it began. What made you become a wrestler? You know, like what gave you that inspiration?
So, when I was very little, my mom was a big wrestling fan. She was a big Undertaker fan, and we'd watch wrestling all the time. You know what I mean? And we'd go to the stores and we'd buy the little Hasbros and stuff like that, and go to the mall and buy all the figures and stuff. Just my mom was an avid fan, dude, like hardcore. And eventually, as a kid, you watch what your mom watches on TV. You know what I mean? You turn off Golden Girls and, oh, wrestling's on. Here we go. You know what I mean? So, my very first memory of wrestling was just WWF, and ever since then, I've been hooked. I wanted to be a pro wrestler from the time, I mean, gosh, in first grade when you got that little box and the three lines, and they tell you draw
Oh,
a
of
picture of what you
course.
want to be. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
was everybody was drawing, like the police officers and firemen, and here I am was just drawing the wrestling ring and a stick figure of me. You know what I mean? Saying I want to be a wrestler. I always knew I wanted to be one. I am one today, and I owe that all to my mother and the company that got me into wrestling, which I have their shirt on right now, Santino Bros Wrestling. That's who gave me my start. So,
Okay.
hmm
No, that's interesting that that you mentioned about watching wrestling as a kid.
yeah.
I used to watch wrestling with my father. My father eventually got tired of it. I continue being a fan. I'm old school to the heart. Old school to the
that
heart.
that's how my mom is. My mom doesn't watch wrestling anymore unless Undertaker's on. If Undertaker
Yeah,
on,
exactly,
man, she
exactly.
she she fell off around 2001, man. Like,
That's why, because it's an old school thing, man. It's old
yeah,
school. You get a bit
yeah,
of that old school 80s and 90s. That's it. You don't want no
yeah,
more.
yeah,
But when you mentioned that, I've seen that you mentioned you worked for WWE 205.
yeah.
How was that experience? going to the WWE, something you grew up watching,
Yeah.
and then boom, here I am.
Well,
What next?
let me tell you something, man. My dream for so long has been to be in the WWF, the WWE now. But as a kid watching something your whole life, and now you're working there, or you got to get an opportunity. Can you say dream come true? Check, I'm checking that off definitely. And um, just the whole, I've been working with WWE on and off since 2014. The 205 Live came in 2018, February. It's episode 65. It's me and Evan Daniels versus Grand Metalik and Lince Dorado. And guys, this wasn't a squash match. This wasn't throw one punch and get your butt kicked. This was, hey, show us what you can do out there. And that was it. And just getting to the arena, not knowing what was going to happen, not knowing what was going to go down, was just nerve wracking itself, because it's like you don't get told what you're going to do until you get there. You might not even know 10 minutes until the show starts, and that was my situation. I didn't know what was going to happen, and they pretty much, I get to the arena, they tell us to gear up, and we do our practice matches, like to see see what we can do. And I had my match, and they liked what I did. And Baron Corbin, Jinder Mahal, all those guys pulled me aside and had nice things to say about me, or to me. And Dean Malenko, my agent, was like, "All right, well, you're going to be working with these guys. You speak Spanish? All right, well, here's your guy, Grand Metalik and Lince Dorado." And there you go, 205 Alive. Here I was making my debut in Phoenix, Arizona, and I couldn't be happier. My dream came true. You know what I mean? Just putting on my boots, putting on my gear for that match, man, I just was this. It wasn't anything like a nerve-wracking feeling. It was more of like, oh my God, like my dream is coming true. How many people can say that they've accomplished their dream? You know what I mean? Like most people want to go to Disneyland. Most people want to, you know what I mean, win $1 million. Like for me, I just wanted to wrestle for the WWE, and I got to do that. So it wasn't. I was not nervous whatsoever. I was just in awe. I was like, oh my God. I mean, this poor kid is living out his dream. Y'all don't understand. I'm looking at the crowd like y'all don't understand. Y'all are cheering for these guys, but y'all don't know how happy I am. You know what I mean? I couldn't stop smiling. I drove home 6 hours after that show, and I was just at my happiest. You know what I mean? Um,
It was like
just
Christmas, pretty much. It
yeah,
was like
it was like
Christmas came
yeah,
early.
it's like opening your favorite gift over and over and over and over. You know what I mean? That's the
No,
feeling I had.
I could imagine, working with the likes of Baron Corbin, especially Dean Malenko,
Yeah, yeah.
legend himself. So
I looked up to that
that
dude.
must have been amazing.
You
That
know,
must have been
watching
amazing.
WCW and them
Monday
doing their
Nitro all the
cruiserweight.
time,
Yeah, those cruiserweights
all the
set the
time,
way
all
for
the
me.
time.
They paved the
Hmm.
way for me.
Well,
So listening to a guy like Dean Malenko, shoot down an idea, pitch an idea, I was like, how cool is this? You know what I'm saying? So it was cool.
you also mentioned in your resume you did a little background with the Usos and the New Day.
Yeah.
Um, how was that? Being with
That.
these guys, the Usos itself, legendary Iona family, like
Yeah.
itself, and the New Day, one of the hottest African American factions ever in professional wrestling. Much
Yeah.
respect to them. How was
Yeah.
that being in the ring with these guys and hearing that crowd and hearing what they can do?
Um, gosh, think of the your most favorite friend and you being on a roller coaster ride and you guys just laughing after because of the faces you made or the screams or whatever. That's how it was working with the New Day and the Usos, both of them. They're so playful. They're so nice. They're so like everything is nonstop funny with them. They're joking. They're teasing each other. They're laughing at each other. They're pitching ideas. They're always trying to up each other like this. And just picture a young me just going, huh, like this is amazing. Like everybody, it was such a good vibe, man. I've never been around people that happy in my life before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody smiles, all parties, from the New Day to the Usos. Even the guys that was working as extras alongside with me were just all, it was like a party of 30 dudes, and we all just laughing, throwing jokes, and telling each other what we want to do and how it's going to sound. It was just so amazing. The Usos are guys, that's who they are, man. The New Day, that's who they are. Like they're not playing around. They're not being a character. You know what I mean? They're not Earthquake. They're not King Mabel. They're just little like Xavier, Kofi, and Big E, and that's how they act 24/7. And I got to share some laughs with them and listen to what they had, and you know what I mean? We're going over the whole rap, because they wrote that down. They're like, okay, should I say this? No, 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 man, you can't say that. That's whack. Say this. And they're saying stuff, and we're just laughing. I'm like, why wouldn't they keep that? That is so funny. It was so fun. And then you got the Usos coming backstage, like, what you guys got? What you guys got? And like, you see. And it's just like all of us, backstage, like legit having a battle going like, all right, we're going to see you out there. We're going to see you out there. See what you got. And it was so much fun. Like I still got butterflies, like just cause the stuff that was said, and then the stuff that didn't make TV, because they probably took it out. I was like, man, they should have said this, but it was so much fun. Time of my
That's
life.
good. That's really good, man. That's good. It's streams like that that make make wrestlers now try to
Yeah,
pursue that dream, of the
yeah.
dream you have mentioned. I ask each talent that comes on the show this question. I'm gonna ask you the same question. If you had a choice right now for a dream match, whether it's WWE, WCW, NWA, New Japan, AEW, anything you can think of,
Yeah.
if you had a choice right now, who would you pick for that match?
Oh gosh, I only got two people that I've ever wanted to wrestle in my life, and one might be a dream come true soon. I can't let that out the bag. But my dream match would be against the Undertaker.
Mm,
I have been an Undertaker fan my whole life. I had a chance to meet him, and that is a funny story, by the way. Please don't let me leave without telling you that story. But my dream match would be the Undertaker, bar none. And if because of our age, I might never ever get the chance to wrestle him ever. You could probably promise that I won't be able to, but there's always another guy that I wanted to wrestle, and his name is Psychosis, a cruiserweight from WCW, and he's
yep,
still on
I
the
remember
independent
Psychosis.
circuit.
He was in AAA Lucha
Yeah,
Libre.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. I know
Nico.
exactly who
So
he is.
shout out to Nico. Um, I've I've crossed paths with the guy. I've seen him on the circuit. He's still, here and there. He's, kind of on his way out. But I hope I get him before he leaves. You know what I mean? I've made a pact to myself that you need to wrestle that man before you leave. You know what I mean? I made a pact to wrestle for the WWE. I did that. To meet the Undertaker, I did that. Now I got to get the Psychosis thing before he leaves. But there's just two people that I wanted to wrestle. Undertaker and Psychosis. I was a huge fan of Undertaker as a kid. My mother was a huge fan. Not only that, Psychosis, when I saw his mask for the first time in WCW, I was just like, that is cool right there. Like, that dude looks dope. You know what I mean? And I've just been a fan of his mask the whole time. I got a mask in my office somewhere of him, and it's just like that is like that's a trophy, you know what I mean? So just to stand in the ring one day and see him come to the ring, that would be great. The Undertaker, we all know what's up with him. Thank you, Taker. He's done it. He might be retired. I don't know. They keep playing
Oh,
tricks on
oh,
my heart.
okay. So you said you had a story about the Undertaker. So I'm gonna give
Mhm.
you the opportunity to tell that story as well as promote any upcoming events, any your social media.
Yeah.
Floor's yours.
All right. So I got a gift. Look, man. I'm a poor kid. Uh, I come from nothing, and I made myself something on my own. And I came up on a gift where somebody, you know, gave me tickets to meet the Undertaker, and my world was just done. I was like, yo, I'm done. Throwing in the towel. I'm done. You know what I mean? I'm gonna meet the Undertaker. You telling me this is real? This ain't a joke. Like this is no. I looked it up. Hey, November, blah blah blah. You can meet the Undertaker, and I said, oh my gosh. So I sat in line like a fan, you know what I'm saying? I sat in line, waited there. I'm anxious. I'm thinking of all these things I'm about to say. I'm gonna be like, yo, Taker, you've been my idol. My mom loves you. My favorite match, da da da. Not even being a wrestler, just being a fan. You know what I'm saying? Just everything I'm about to tell him. You know what I mean? I'm excited. I'm hyped. We getting closer to the line. He come out. I'm screaming, ah, Taker! I'm screaming, man, losing my head. I see him, he's sitting down, a couple people go through, an hour goes by, I'm like, yo, I'm almost there. I hit another corner, I'm like, no, I ain't almost there. And then all of a sudden, boom, I'm next. Undertaker's right there, and I'm seeing him. I'm snapping pictures. I'm like, let me get this angle, all these angles real quick, because this is the only time I'm ever gonna be this close to him. Getting all these angles. The lady's like, okay, hi. How would you like me to take the picture? I said, long ways. I want everything. You know what I mean? Don't take it like this. Take it long ways. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to get my phone to show her because they got a password. So I'm turning everything off, airdropping everything, everything off. No one can interrupt this photo. You know what I mean? And this lady's messing with my phone. She goes, I'm sorry, I have an Android. I'm like, oh my God, this is an iPhone. Look, this is how you do it. Boom, boom, boom. The whole time, Undertaker is behind me with his arm, with his handshake, just like this, waiting for me to shake his hand the whole time. I didn't even know. But everybody's like, yo, look behind you. I'm like, yeah, 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 I know he's right there. Yeah. So blah, blah, blah. And he's just like this, waiting for me. And I turn around and I'm like, you good? You good? She's like, yeah, yeah, I got it. I turn around and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. Let me shake his hand, right? Shook his hand, boom, stood next to him, got the picture. He said, thank you, have a good day. I walked away. I didn't say nothing to the Undertaker. I said nothing. I was plotting for like almost 4 hours of everything I'm gonna say. All I wanted to tell him was, Undertaker, you meant that much to me. You inspired me to be a wrestler, and thank you so. That's all I wanted to tell him. I didn't say not one word to the man. All that time, he was standing there waiting for me to shake his hand. I shook his hand. I got starstruck and walked away. Almost forgot my phone. And I was like, yo, that was a complete waste. What did I do? Oh my gosh. I was so upset because I had my idol there and I didn't say nothing. I've met tons of stars before in my life, and I've never been as starstruck as to when I saw The Undertaker face to face. My chest right now is like twitching because I'm still nervous, like I'm there. And I saw The Undertaker, and I just was like, hello, picture, and gone. That's it. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, that is the worst thing ever. Like, why did I do that? So, I mean, there's my Undertaker story. I got my picture, but it's filled with like, not a bad memory, but I just wish I could have done more. You know what I mean? But he is my idol, my favorite wrestler, my mother's favorite wrestler, and I gotta meet him again because I gotta tell him how I feel. So we can get on that. You know what I mean? But other than that, guys, my name is Gino Rivera, the Frank Sinatra of the Spanish Mafia, the Latino Al Pacino, the Puerto Rican Pitbull, Mr. 205 Live. And you can find me on all social media platforms from Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Gino Toldyouso. Check out my SoundCloud, which I do music, my cameos, my pro wrestling tee site. Guys, I'm everywhere. I am everywhere. I just put out some new hats with the action figure, which the action figure should come out soon. Check out my school. What's it called? Centino Bros Wrestling. You can also check out the school that I train with my students, off the ropes wrestling school, OTR in Albuquerque, New Mexico. This is Gino Rivera, and this was so much fun, guys. I hope we can definitely do this again.
Thank you, sir. It was a pleasure having you on the show, man. We wish you the best of luck in your wrestling career, and just keep moving forward, man.
Yes, sir, man. This is so much fun. I hope you guys, I got tons more of story. Like I got so many stories to tell y'all from just indie wrestling to coming up to some WWE stuff to working with AEW. Bet you guys didn't know about that. But there's a bunch of stuff that I could tell you. I'm Puerto Rican, so I can talk all day. So don't play with me. So,
I am too. I am too.
oh,
So
there we
I
go,
definitely
right there. One
understand.
love, baby.
But yeah, we'll work on that. We'll work
Yes,
on that.
sir.
Maybe have you as a guest on our show. We'll meet my co-host, my son.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Oh,
Talk
yeah. Let's
some
do it, man.
wrestling. So, all
Let's
right,
do it.
man. Take care, and you
All
have a
right.
good evening.
You too, sir. Bye, guys. Have a good day.
There you have it, fans. Mr. Gino Rivera, indie superstar, as well as numerous appearances in WWE, and he's definitely looking to make a name for himself in professional wrestling. Well, thank you, fans, for watching. For as always, please follow us on Evolution of Pro Wrestling on all our social media platforms of YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. We are now in TikTok. Um, Join us this Friday. It will be our trivia show, episode 3, Evolution of Pro Wrestling, episode 3. We are also doing our topic of discussions. Remember, we will be putting our voting for our watch party this Saturday, I believe. And also, we will be announcing when we will be starting the Thursday night throwback of putting original episodes of Evolution of Pro Wrestling on Thursday nights and just having you guys watch. Okay, from all of us here in Evolution of Pro Wrestling, have a good night, fans.